right, everybody, and welcome back to the GFC. My name is Teddy, and I'm here with my co-host, Animated Jay. Jay, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited. It's just been so amazing. So many amazing glovers we've been seeing, and just variety and concepts, and I'm loving it, man. So, Teddy, what do we have today? What's going on?
So today, before I bring out our amazing judges, I do want to just remind everybody here that how the prize structure for this tournament works. So this is a little bit different than a typical tournament. Normally, you have an entry fee or a prize pool, and that's the end of it. But that's not how it works here. So the GFC is partially funded by the tournament entries, and it's also partially funded by the apparel purchased. And it's divided up into this nice little graphic that Freebie's going to put up in post-production here. There's this little pie chart here that shows you exactly how everything breaks down. 50% of the pool will go to a charity donation of the winner's choosing. 25% of the pool will go to the winner, and then the remaining 25% being split between second, third, and all of the semifinalists. This pool does increase as apparel sales continue to grow. So once we cross that $1,000 threshold, which is what it's currently at, then we'll post increased amounts, and we'll show you guys how much the prize pool has increased to. I will say that we are almost at we are almost at that $1,000 mark. So we will be increasing the prize pool and charity donation very soon. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring out our amazing judges. First, handling the concept side, we have Lust. Lust, how you doing?
Hi everybody. I'm Lust. I'm hailing from Philadelphia, and today I'm going to be going over the concepts. So we're looking at cleanliness, use of space, and difficulty of concepts. I know that we have some impactors in this bracket, so don't be scared that your dexterity might not be too intense, but we'll be looking at creativity, for cleanliness, making sure your moves are exactly symmetrical. If your fingers are together, they should be together on both sides, open on both sides, etc.
Awesome.
And now let's hear from Jump.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jump, and I'm here in California. Not that sunny, so you get what you get. What I'll be focusing on judging for your guys' light shows is the traits side of it. So basically that means your delivery, your showmanship, and your musicality. With your delivery, it's basically how you deliver your moves. Are you using the correct timing and everything with your power moves and such? I mean, did it really impact any part of your show? Was it really a part of your show, or were you just kind of throwing those things out there? Your showmanship, basically just how you portray yourself itself into your light show. I mean, do I now kind of see where you're going with this light show? Is there something like a story to tell with it? Am I really just seeing lights being thrown in my face, or is it something that I'm really feeling and getting connected with? And then with the musicality, that's pretty basic. I mean, I want to see that you're on beat and you're going with the show and with the music itself. You're not just basically trailing behind the beats as they go. You're kind of creating the beats with your lights and your light show to basically make those impact and all those connections to where it feels like it's a whole thing put together. You are the light show and the music itself.
Wow. Thank you, Jump. Thank you, Lust. That's a great explanation. So for those of you that don't know, Lust is our impact coach at YouGotMoves.com, and she's joining us here. And Jump is the captain of Puppet Masters. May have handed her my captain spot myself. She may or may not know what she's doing, and she also may or may not be the first female Glover going back to early 2008, if I remember correctly.
Correct, sir.
So a lot of legacy in this group here, and we are ready to get started. So today we are going to be taking a look at 4 amazing Glovers from Group B: Curiosity, Dang, Emotive, and Blunt. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and get started with Curiosity. And that was Curiosity. Animated J, take it away.
That was beautiful. It woke me up. It was like a nice, refreshing, like, here you go. And it was very what's the word? Very angelic. I got this angelic vibe, like I was in
Delicate.
nature, peace. But I wanted to ask Jump, the musicality aspect. What did you think about how he was in the music? Was he the light show, or what was your thoughts?
With musicality, I feel like even myself, I would struggle on giving musicality to this one just because it's so soft. So, like you said, his light show itself, he was being soft and angelic and delicate with it. So I felt like he had the musicality going on with that. Again, it's a little bit hard to hit on musicality with certain beats with that type of um song and everything, but the thing is I feel like he was able to follow it the best way that he could and everything, so it was there, but again, that one would, I feel like, is kind of hard to follow with for musicality.
Mm. Was there something you found that stood out during that show, looking at it through the traits judge as a traits judge?
um I would say probably just some of like the delivery of some of the moves that he was using. I just wish that he was actually being I would say like aggressive, even though it's not like a delicate light show, more aggressive, but executing like some of his moves a little bit more. I mean, they were there, but then it would just kind of like flow into the next one. There's a lot of liquid stuff
More
rather than
deliberate.
pauses and everything.
Mm.
So what you're looking for is deliberate, if he was deliberate or not,
Yeah.
intention.
I'd
Okay.
say so.
Cool.
Mm. Now, Lust, I know you're looking at this through a more technical lens. You're the concept side of this. What did you feel about his? Because he was doing something flower petals. I know someone said something about petals. Can you tell me a little bit about that and what you saw?
Yeah, so I think Curiosity had some really unique flails combining with his cuts. I think in light shows specifically, there's a lot more flail tuts than in the actual dance art of tutting. So seeing him get creative with that, do some flower petals into tut transitions was I mean, it definitely takes skill, it definitely takes creativity, and I think he really pulled it off. That was my favorite part of the show.
Nice. And would you say everything seemed pretty symmetrical? Everything was clean and presented?
I wouldn't say it's the cleanest show, but I don't think it was overly sloppy either. I think, especially with those slims and those big lights, if you're not careful, they may move around a little bit on you, and some of your points that you're trying to line up may not hit that crisp isolation. But besides that, I was very impressed.
Dope, dope. Well, there's curiosity. Okay, Teddy, who is our next contestant?
All right, so that was Curiosity. Now let's take a look at Dang.
Come away with your come away with your come away with your come away with your
Dang!
Up.
Animated J. Where you
I
at?
mean, I felt like I was tripping. Like there was something about that show. It's different from what I've seen before because the colors are changing and then they're flashing and it's all in this thumb, like this illusion going on. And it's just like I felt like it was like the core of the Earth's core was like the light was just going around the Earth. And it was just bugging me out. But like Lust, can you tell me what is like the difficulty, the cleanness of doing impacts? What's going on there?
Impacts are, one of my favorite parts of gloving, and seeing Dang just get better and better is so awesome. Cleanliness wise, he was very clean. There's some placement things I did see from him, because when you are on that mode 3, that hyper blink, you really want to be right in the center of your camera. If you are too far over to either side, it kind of takes away the focus of someone following your light show. But difficulty wise, he had a lot of different variations between his M1s to M1s, which is high to highs mode 1 of the iNova. If you don't know what impacting is, it is actually a specific functioning microlight used for thumbs, and you can use it for other fingers, but it is its own style inside of gloving, and Dang definitely did it justice here. So.
Nice. And I have one more question. How do you differentiate between someone that's high level or beginning at impact? Is there some kind of quality about the show?
That's a very good question. I think it's the same way you determine if someone's a beginner at regular gloving and more experience. There's a lot of different fundamentals that go into it. Basically, everything we're scoring on, right? So cleanliness, use of space, difficulty with concepts, and then of course all the trait side of it, which Jump will cover.
Got it. Dope. Thank you for that. So now, Jump. What I'm watching this show and I'm enjoying it. The music, this flow, I'm being pulled in with the lights and such. Looking at it through a showmanship, storytelling perspective, what did you see?
I did see like I thought I saw like, he was connecting with the music and like everything. I know it's hard for impactors because like Mary said, Les said that, you have to get really close to like, your moves like when you're in the person's face or the camera and everything for that to deliver over. And I felt like he was able to, connect everything together as much as he could with the space that he had. So, I felt a connection with him. I mean, even seeing him like, here's the lights, but you could see him in the back end of it. That's my main thing is like, when you're getting light shows, you are paying attention to the lights, but also seeing the person that you're getting it from, you can see that they're putting everything out there for you, if that makes sense.
So like a vulnerability, it's almost being vulnerable, be putting everything out there for
Pretty
the
much.
person to see. Right.
Hmm.
And how about did you feel the movements were all used, it all connected, or just again this like when you're writing a story, you have the intro, the body, and the conclusion. Did you feel everything was digestible?
Yeah, in a sense, it like I feel like in person, if I would have gotten that light show, it would be a lot more. I would feel like yes on that point of like what you're asking for. Seeing it on camera, it was a little bit more difficult for the fact that some things were out of frame, but that's out of the camera's control and out of his control. But I mean, overall, I feel like yes, if that makes sense. So.
Got it. That's an interesting question. Camera versus in person. Maybe a roundtable discussion. But
Aha!
Yeah.
Teddy, bringing it back to you. Who's our next contestant?
All right, so that was Dang, and now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at emotive. was emotive. Animated J, take it away.
It's cool because I think Emotive's the only person in this whole contest that I've like sessioned and like vibed with. And watching him do his thing and grow. Uh, I felt like this was a very dancey. I know that's not even the right term, but like a very dancey inspired show.
We'll allow it.
So I'm kind of interested to hear what Lust, your thoughts on the concept, the difficulty, because it felt very concept-y. I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts on this show, Lust.
I have been watching Jacob shows for a while now. He actually lives 10 minutes from me, so we lab and critique each other all the time. So he knows I'll be brutally honest with him. But honestly, that show went off. It went off, dude. All those 45s, all those 45 transitions, I don't even know what he was doing, and then bringing in some of his full body work. I think he had like one hand out and he did a full wave to the other side. Just some really nice aesthetic things that really separate him from a lot of light shows, in terms of cleanliness, he always says he's not very clean and such like that, but I think he really pulled off all his concepts in a way that they were very easy to see what he was doing. And I really enjoyed the show.
Totally. Yeah, back to you were saying the wave he did, then he was doing some of these angles that are a bit, more flexible. And then that ticking, he was like
Oh
in
yeah,
the beginning,
yeah.
which is really cool because now he's incorporating things, like that's like in the popping world, taking some things from there and putting it into his light show. So I love the individuality, the creativity. Now, Jump, what did you feel, because I know you're looking at the storytelling, you're looking at, the character. How did you feel when you were watching this?
You know, just the way like how you guys were talking about how we started it off and everything, same type of thing. It had that more of like, all around like full on body light show almost. Like, it wasn't just the hands and the arms. It was kind of like all like, all upper body. I mean, he was standing up obviously. So I mean he was going with the whole light show the whole time. So but just like, kind of cool. And it's also nice to see when people do light shows, it's like they're giving all themselves for you in this whole light show, which is like, the main thing you always want to see.
Hmm. Well, musicality aspect of it, what are your thoughts on there? Because I see very like technical, difficult concepts, like, and that's Lust's side of you just looking at it. But what did you see? The flow, the musicality. What are your thoughts on that?
Felt like his flow and the connection and everything probably came in at about like 45 seconds to like a minute is like when he really started to like I saw things really connecting and hitting like on the beat. At first it was kind of like, building up into it and slowly progressing into the connections of it. But like I felt like I clicked on the time and like went to go see where it was at, but it was like around like 45 seconds or like into a minute. It's like when it really just started like hit like things. So like halfway points basically I think is what it is of the light show. But that's what I saw on this light show particularly.
There was definitely a point where he dove in and cranked it up a notch in the middle of that show.
And I'm pretty sure that's like at the point I said like 45 seconds to like a minute. It's like you saw it and it's like woo woo woo.
Nice. I like that. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
All right. Well, that was amazing. We have one more light show to look at in this episode, and we are going to take a look at Blunt.
Down on the West Coast, they love their movies. They're golden gotten, rocking all groupies. And you got the music, you got the music in you. Don't you? I kiss my baby sweet I kiss my baby sweet
what a main event for the episode. That was blunt. Anime Jay, you have the biggest smile on right now. What's up, man?
I enjoyed that show a lot. Like he reminded me of a friend named ISO. ISO is a tutor in
Mm-hmm.
LA. You know ISO, and
Mm-hmm.
it just very like technical and very like shoom, here we go, like very detailed orientated. And I was loving that. Like even I was like, give me one more, and then how he ended it, like just giving time for people to just let that soak in. You know what he just did. So that was crazy. Now Lust, the technical aspect of it. I know that was that clusters? Is that what it's called that he was doing in the beginning?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a
Yeah.
bit more about
Yeah.
that technical aspect.
Honestly, this show blew technicality out of the water. I mean, he had these crazy unique clusters. I had never seen that. It was almost like walking onto like the neck, finger to finger to finger, and it kept going. And I was like, how are his fingers still moving to the right or whatever? Also, I mean, his cutting was so precise in this. The cleanliness was off the charts in this. I mean, it was great. It was a phenomenal show. Use of space, maybe there could have been a little more, but in the other two categories, I mean, he slaughtered this round. So
Totally. I agree with the use of space. Everything to me was very like in like right here. So I know we've seen some videos in the past where people are really like using their space. So but still that was wild. Jump. Story wise, character wise, I personally I like the way he ended that. He was just like chilling and then he just like vanished. And it was great.
It's a whole ass vibe, basically. I would say.
Like there's a whole
Like-
there's a whole vibe, and I feel like people sometimes forget like it's a vibe. Like have fun with it. But I want to hear your view on this, Jump.
Well, I mean, like we're talking about, like it's a whole ass vibe, but the whole thing about like showmanship and everything is like again, you are the vibe, you are the light show. You need to put those two things together in order for it to really be a good light show, in my opinion. Because like when you're getting a light show, those like the ones that don't have that all put together, those are the ones you're like, okay, I gotta go talk to my friends really quick, or I gotta take this phone call type of thing. But like that, I'd be like, give me more, because like you said, all the connections and everything that he said, I know this like musicality and everything that he was doing was like connecting in such way. It's like, oh, what's he gonna do next, or like what's the next step? It was like first part of it with the clusters, like you guys just talked about. It was like Legos or like connects, like all building up together. His tuts, his hinges. I was like, what is going on here? But like, it was perfect. I mean, I'm not gonna say perfect, but I mean, it was great.
Totally. That was wild. Again, like gave me very ISO vibes from LA. But Teddy, was that our last Glover for today?
That was the last Glover for this episode today. We are going to be back on Friday night with 4 more amazing Glovers, and we have Fry Guy, Lakaios, Mute, and JPEG up on Friday night. So we have an absolute amazing next episode ready. But before we go, I do have one more thing to take care of, and it's Animated Jay's favorite part, and that is our round tables. So, Animated Jay, what is our round table topic for today?
So the topic is in-person versus camera, pros, cons, and things to be consciously aware of.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Animated Jay. If you're watching us on YouTube, just go ahead and click on the next video in our feed. And if you're watching us on Facebook and Instagram, what are you doing? Check out our YouTube. See you there.
You got moves.